What it do, baby? Welcome to Study Hall episode, what is it, 6? Number 6. If you're not familiar, hold on. Do the thing. Sorry. If you're not familiar, this is a weekly miniature podcast that we do on the show where I kind of, it's like way more chill than the actual podcast where we talk about serious topics. Like we talked about trans rights when it comes to playing sports. We also talked about, NBA stuff, the season coming to an end. Talked about a bunch of serious shit last week. But yeah, this is the podcast where it's a little bit more lighthearted. We look up like current events. We read articles about sports, and I try and educate myself a little bit, and we try and do it together. It's called Study Hall because it is literally me studying up for Friday's episode of the podcast. So, So if you are here right now, feel free at any time to drop in the chat your hot takes, your questions, any stuff like that, and I will answer with the best of my abilities. So yeah. Damn. Yo, this is so weird. There's a rapper by the name of Kid Trunks who apparently lied about getting shot and having lung cancer. So weird. Damn, that's so weird. There you go. That's our first one today. And there's going to be a little bit of pausing and stuff like that. I actually try to... Actually, I need to check real quick, see how many copyright hits I've gotten. By the way, if you don't know, like, it's at this point, it's just so difficult. But there's like... I don't know why I did that. But basically, what was I going to say? Wow, I just spaced out so hard right now because I'm looking, basically the music I play on the show gets hit with copyright infringement all the time, even though it's like publicly available music. Wow, 8 people watched last week's show already. That's cool. I'm trying to work on building up the stuff for this podcast, like this stuff for this podcast in general, in terms of Twitch and YouTube, because we're trying to make it happen, baby. We're trying to get rich. If you don't know, the point of this podcast is to get so big we sign $100 million Spotify contract or whatever podcasting platform will give it to us, and then we never do this show again. So, yeah, or we start doing the show from an island. We're rich. We're gonna need a little bit more than 100 million if we want to buy an island. Well, it depends on what kind of island and where the island is. I feel like islands are, in terms of value, especially if it's a barrier island, value's constantly decreasing. I think it has to be. Like, by definition, there's less of the island every year. Ooh, man, having a tough conversation with a guy that I used to work with about goals and shit like that. Right? Am I right? I could just be podcaster forever. What the hell? Anyway, by the way, we're like one thing away from, we are one trigger point away from being successfully at affiliate, and it is literally averaging 3 people watching this stream. So, I've been putting in the time, putting in that work, baby. Trying to make that happen. Really have. I have, at least. I don't know about you guys, but trying to get people in here and shit. I know. I'm not entertaining. Shout out to the people who watch the study hall sessions. Because they have no point other than to... Oop, my bad. Back it up. Let's see. The study hall sessions don't really have like an overall point. other than to get, like, honestly, the study hall sessions are to learn. Like, there's no jokes being cracked or anything like that. And if people want to hop in and have a conversation and chat it up or whatever, they can do that as well too. I got the chat box set up, so you should be able to see it if people are writing things at me. But yeah. Oh, by the way, we got a new, if you didn't notice it, we got a new, and as a matter of fact, I can do this. There is a new pop that my girlfriend got me, and it is the what if version of Killmonger. So if you didn't see it, I'm not going to spoil it or whatever, but there's a what if version of Killmonger in, where, you know, they talk about the alternate universe that could have been if Killmonger was just a tad bit different. If somebody else had made first contact with Killmonger originally, which, look, let me tell you, man, it's really about it. Like, it makes a lot of sense. It's actually really entertaining. I think it's the best of the What If series, but that's just my personal opinion. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything situated. Oh, I think they just voted on new overtime rules. Let's see. Yep. The overtime rules are changing, which means we need to... Breaking news. I'm kidding. It's not breaking. Let's see if they wrote an article about it if I refresh this page real quick. Oh, I will also switch to the other one. I'll switch to the study hall perspective. We got so many scenes now. I started off this podcast with like 3 scenes on a regular basis, and now it's like way too many, to be honest with you. Too many for me personally. So you can see we got a little tracker there for things that we're doing on today's episode. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had to thread my headphones underneath. Anyway, new overtime rules have come into effect for the NFL. There's no article written about it on ESPN just yet. Let me see if I can refresh it and it pops up. Nope. Let's go to Pro Football Network. Pro Football Talk. Shout out Mike Florio. Always holding it down. I'm just kidding. Let's see. No. Sean McVay confirms Aaron Donald. I mean, I don't know how you can confirm it. You don't tell the Don what to do. The Don tells you what to do. Anyway, it must be on Twitter. Let's look it up on Twitter. So many tabs. This is how people who have 20 tabs open, this is how it happens. So, we want to go Schefter or Ian Rappaport? Let's go Ian. Gotta show some love to the other newsbreakers in the game. Oh, there's a whole list of things. Hold on a second. I gotta get my juicy juice. Should probably also tweet about this show currently being active right now. But yeah, here we go. New rules being approved. This is from the competition committee at the owners meeting. NFL clubs adopted the following rules. Rules changes and resolution proposals today. NFL annual meeting in Palm Beach, Florida. Smart to have, if you're going to have an annual meeting, smart to have it in Palm Beach, Florida. Let's see. Approved 2020 playing rule summary by Indianapolis and Philadelphia amends Rule 16 to allow both teams an opportunity to possess the ball in overtime in the postseason. Okay, that's not great. We need that to happen in the regular season because regular season games matter as well. So the Colts and the Eagles submitted that both teams get to touch the ball, and then the overtime will be over with. By competition committee makes permanent the free kick formation change implemented during the 2021 season that established a maximum number of players in the setup zone, which I think is to prevent the overload on one side of the field goal, right? Let's see. Approved 2020 resolution summary by Baltimore But Baltimore, Buffalo, Philadelphia, and Tampa Bay amends the anti-tampering policy in regards to the secondary football executive positions to to allow the employer club the choice to retain its player personnel staff the annual selection through the annual selection meeting. After the selection meeting through June 30th, the employer club is required to grant permission for another club to interview and hire a non-high level executive or non-secondary football executive for a secondary football executive position. This is the rule because the standing rule for like every single front office job in the NFL is you have to seek permission from the team that you're talking to talk. You have to seek permission from the team to even interview the person, and also they can't even interview unless it is a promotion, right? Like they can't. They can't interview people. They can't be like, okay, so we have a regional scout for the South region, and we need to interview you for a regional scout of the South region. They don't allow that to go down. Sorry for the people on Twitch who can't see the totality of what. Hopefully that helped. It's zoomed in, so I can't do anything about that. Hopefully that helped in some way. Sorry. The only time that it looks crappy is when... The only time it ever looks good is when it's not on ESPN. The only time it looks bad is when it's not on ESPN. Sorry. Anyway, that's the new list. That one rule is weird. Both teams are now guaranteed a possession in overtime, and it's now postseason only. It was approved per source. That is what we just talked about. Yeah, so, anyway, that's Twitter. We are doing the thing where we go look at my Twitter list at the end of the show. Also, big news. The cherry blossom thing is way better than we ever thought it could be. It's actually a full uniform. They lied. So, the Wizards lied. Shout out to them. I really appreciate it, actually, that they would go to such lengths to hide such a beautiful thing from me personally. But yeah, if you didn't hear, the Wizards have a new uniform, and it is their City Edition uniform for this year. They lied for an entire week and said that it was going to be a cherry blossom shooting shirt. They said that it was going to be, a cherry blossom themed shooting shirt just for the cherry blossom themed event that they were having. And guess what? They have cherry blossom uniforms now that like everybody's wanted for years. Shout out Rui Hachimura. You guys want to see him? We can look at him right now. The Zards, bro. Worst shortening of a name in the history of sports. Here we go. This is the video. Let's check out the video. The dramatic video that people spent a lot of time working on. Hold on, let me frame it. Let me make sure it is framed correctly so that you can see it. OBS, hold on. OBS, you playing, girl. You wild. Ooh, behind the scenes. Peer into the void. See, it's nothing. By the way, I met a flat earther yesterday, so that was tough. That was tough for me personally. I feel dumber. Yes, if you're asking if I'm serious, I'm dead fucking serious. I met a flat earther yesterday, and it was like a Taco Bell employee. Sorry, she was a Taco Bell employee. Alright, we should be good now. We'll see. People ask me, do I have a long-term plan? Why would I have a long-term plan? I'm an idiot. Oh, let's go. Cherry blossoms. Alright, this is the promo video for, let me see what it looks like. Alright, cool. It looks good. This is the promo video for the Cherry Blossom City Edition uniforms for the Wizards. The Zards, bro. Guy I talked to was like, oh man, It looks like an anime scene, and I was like, that's the point. I think it looks dope, in my opinion. They have cherry blossoms in DC. They have cherry blossoms in DC. That's what the point of this is. I did not know that. They got a Chinatown in DC. Yeah. These are fire, bro. Of course, they had to get Kyle Kuzma to model it for him because, you know, for people, he's a model. Kyle Kuzma, a true icon. Damn, they didn't even really say anything. No celebrity voiceover? Wow, disappointing. So, yeah, tonight is Cherry Blossom Night, like we talked about before. And they're playing the Bulls, so this is going to be a pretty big game for them overall. I love how they're like city in bloom. And the Nationals do have that's Juan Soto. Shout out to the real one. The Nationals have a fucking cherry blossom uniform. That's clutch to have a collaboration like that. That's smart. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Wow, look at this. The Japanese embassy in DC quote tweeted this. We love the look of these Washington Wizards Bloom City Edition uniforms as we celebrate 110 years in bloom anniversary of the gift of the cherry blossom tree from Tokyo to DC. We were glad to welcome Kyle Kuzma to our Impacte. We gotta look it up. We gotta figure out how to say this. Impactai. We're gonna, yeah, that's my bet. Impakutai. This is how we get better as people, guys, to look up the definitions of how things are pronounced. Also, we should probably learn how to spell things properly. Impakute. Oh, it's an N. Impakute. Is that it? You know what? You know what we're going to do when we struggle to remember things for longer than 10 seconds? Copy and paste, baby. Copy and paste. How do you pronounce it, though? Pronunciation. They got a tea house inside the Japanese embassy? That's crazy. Why would I ask you how to pronounce tea house, nigga? Oh, sorry. Yes, I did just call Google a nigga. Anyway, Impakutai pronunciation. Is that a city or is it like a type of tea? Impaku. That's not the word. Damn. I guess this is like this must be like a proper noun. It must be like which doesn't make sense that you can't be like, oh, we don't know how to pronounce that proper noun. It's Impakute. Let's go with that. Impakute. Oh, I spelled. No, I didn't. I copied and pasted it. Can't spell it wrong. Anyway, Impakute tea house to add some Japanese flavor to these photos. Oh, that's where they took the photos at. Okay, nice. All right. I like it. I respect it. Yeah, the Nationals one looked kind of. It looked like they got a cotton shirt and stitched in a cherry blossom on there. They could have done better. Let's be for real. I just like I respect the fuck out of this by the Wizards because honestly I love this by the Wizards overall because we live in a world where new colors are coming into the mainstream version of how sports uniforms are made. And pink has always been a color that people have like shied away from because they feel like it's an indignifier of a certain gender of people, which is stupid because you can wear pink and it look cool and shit like that. And I feel like this is a great example of making it look fly. So once again, don't know why it's just Kyle Kuzma that gets to model all this stuff. GQ literally did a photo shoot of him with just the jersey on. Also, if we're doing like a real judgment call right here, this is the guy that should be about. This is Rui Hachimura. He's from Japan. So, you know, where cherry blossoms have gained their fame from or whatever. But yeah, they're like, look, here's Kyle Kuzma. They're literally just posting thirst traps for people, I guess. But yeah, here's the photos of people in the uniform. We can look at this. I looked at this earlier, so hopefully there's no audio that plays. But yeah, That's what the jersey looks like. You can see the little edges right there on the side of it. Hold on. Trying to make sure y'all can actually see it. So you can see on the edges right there, like the little cherry blossom goes all the way down the side there. I'm going to buy these shorts. I'm like 99% sure I am. They're probably like $70 at this point, which sucks. It's just great to see sports in general embracing pink as a color, that it can be utilized. We saw we've seen lately a rise of mint and teal being added into sports. It's good to see pink, and then this blue right here is nice. I like that. Not a whole uniform. I wish the blue on the shorts matched the blue that's the trim of the top right here, because it doesn't look like these are the same color blue, but I like them overall. Shout out Bradley Beal for getting this photo shoot done before he completely wrecked his entire season with that injury. It must have been tough for them to keep that secret for this long, because unless Bradley Beal came in and did the photo shoot while he was hurt, which is a real thing. This is a real possibility. Yeah, these are dope, man. I like them. I like them a lot. And it's a big step forward. And then, of course, they're gonna be easily identified. That's the best part about it. Like, when you see them, you know what the time is. And then they got like a whole little breakdown of the details on it and stuff like that. So let's. I didn't read this part. Sorry, I just looked at the photo. You know how I am. I just look at the photos, right? We should make it a thing where I look at my burner account on here. My sports photography burner account. Am I even logged into that one? I think I'm logged into my personal Twitter account. Or maybe I'm logged into both or all three, because I think I'm logged into... yeah, if you guys don't know, I think I'm logged into the Houston Cosmos Instagram account, the Quidditch team that I play for. But if you guys don't know, every team has this little thing right here. It's a indignifier of how many championships you won. One of the most frustrating things about NBA 2K is, like, no matter how many championships you win in 2K, they don't change the number on the back of your jersey. It's one of the little tiny stupid details that I noticed. Yeah. So that's above the little. If you guys have ever had NBA stuff, this is like the bottom right corner of like every jersey that you get. So they got like the cherry blossoms there, the District of Columbia, and then it has the eye with a cherry blossom on it. And it has like this. Honestly, these are just gonna sell for the fact that they have really good cherry blossom design. Even though most people go with like the cherry blossom petals and everything like that, they put the full cherry blossom on there, which is dope. And it flows. It flows really nice. I like it. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who were not fans of the Wizards before, but will become fans because of how much they embrace the cherry blossom. Because if you don't know, like, it's a huge cultural signifier. Like, as a tree, it's like a huge deal in Japan. If you are a big fan of Dr. Stone, you know that. Dr. Stone, which is not coming back until next year. Great for me. Let's see what this stuff says. I can't even read this. Let me zoom in. I wonder how they get away with this, like, copyright images wise. Like, people aren't, like, Nike's getting, like, you know what I mean? Like, Nike, and I hope they get, like, custom, like, that would be so cool if they gave them, like, we actually have cherry blossom leggings to go along with this, and the leg sleeves and the compression shorts. Introducing the brand new Bloom City Edition uniforms for the 2022-2023 season, which is really weird because the season's almost over and the Wizards are not going to the playoffs. Paying tribute to the city's iconic cherry blossoms, the pink base of the uniform highlight the flower's most iconic color, white accents throughout, including the falling petals down each side. I guess they're calling those petals. Those look like full, whatever. Pink to blue gradient that symbolizes the blossoms on the water. Oh, that's nice. See, this is why you read, guys. This is why you read the descriptions of the City Edition uniforms. The blue is the signifier of, because cherry blossoms glow near water and stuff like that. The cherry blossom floating on top of the water, which is one of the, if you've ever watched like any form of media that tries to attempt to cover or have a Japanese aspect to it, that's like the number one iconic scene that they have, like the cherry blossom petal floating on top of the water and slightly spinning, almost like a lotus flower to a certain degree. Symbolizes the blossoms on the water. Tidal Basin's home of the city's most iconic cherry blossoms trees, which is near the Washington Monument, right? Like the ones in front of the Washington Monuments, like they showed in the video. The brand new cherry blossom logo dots the I in Washington's word mark across the jersey's chest, putting a fresh floral spin on a staple of the team's modern look. Don't forget, the Wizards have like some of the most abrasive modern day uniforms to the eye. Three distinct cherry blossoms sit just above the official NBA tag, mirroring the 3-star design of the Washington, D.C. flag. There you go. The classic Wizards ball logo, now with the pink tint, displays the prominently side look of the new shorts, connecting the cherry blossoms pink to deep blue, symbolizing the water on the tidal basin of the cherry blossom that the trees call home. There you go. Shout out the Wizards. They made that happen. Oh, here's a poll that I did that featured Van Lathan. He actually responded. It was pretty funny. Who's more addicted to giving people nicknames, Van Lathan Jr. or Donald Trump? If you listen to a podcast that I listen to called, it's a podcast I listen to on a regular basis called Higher Learning. It has Rachel Lindsay and Van Lathan Jr., who used to work for TMZ, who now works for The Ringer, on there, and they're pretty funny. They also have other things. So let's see what this says. Mina Kimes just boo-hissed something. Let's find out. Troy Vincent of the NFL says competition committee evaluated a lot of cleanup aspects, but no major changes. Sportsmanship was vital. Said only 4 taunting penalties were missed calls. The NCAA has urged NFL to keep taunting rules in place. I don't get why. Hold on. I just want to make it clear. There has never been a point where if there's ever been a case more wrought for easily inspiring collusion and a conspiracy, it would be the connection that the NCAA and the NFL have. The NCAA loves to pretend that they have no connection to the NFL, and it is a way to, one, keep the NCAA as a monetized form of a money-making form of football, or a money-making brand of football, right? The NCAA needs to keep this perspective up, and really they've done a great job of monopolizing the entire industry of college football to the NFL, because even, like, look right now, this is a thing going on right now, right? Like, one of the top prospects for this upcoming draft, or multiple top prospects for this upcoming draft, are currently in the G League for the NBA. There are some prospects that are overseas. There are some prospects that have foregone college completely. Talking about Mikey Williams. Mikey Williams playing in the overtime league, right? With a bunch of other top prospects that are trying to get ready for the NBA draft. That option doesn't exist for football. And that is in part due to the dominance of the NCAA in terms of, like, their pipeline to the NFL. A lot of guys, there's no other, like, unconventional path, right, to go from playing college football to, playing high school football, playing college football, go to the NFL. That's literally one of 3 different paths that you can take to the NFL. Some people have never played college football that have made it to the NFL. Cyril Johnson, is one of the examples of that, but that's, like, super rare, right? And Cyril doesn't get time on the field. But if there is ever a time where it is blatantly obvious that the NCAA and the NFL are lockstep when it comes to so much of this stuff, it is how the rules are officiated, right? Because they're probably telling them to do this, because the NCAA is probably urging the NFL to keep their taunting rules in place to prevent it from inspiring NCAA players from doing it. We're not going to look at the replies. Anyway, the taunting calls are, like, for real. You know, I don't have any. I can't help you. BJ Hill. Shout out BJ Hill for being. Oh, sorry, my bad. You guys can't even see it. I don't know why I'm doing that. I just want to take time and make it full camera to talk about that, because it's like fucking ridiculous at this point, right? Collusion. It's the best way to phrase it. This is BJ Hill. Shout out him. Plays for the Bengals, right? Running back? Yeah. He says, who got a discount code for gas? I'm dead serious. And then Jermaine Pratt, he's like, I'm sorry to tell you that 5 ain't gonna get you no more nowhere. And I'm like, 5 get you 1 gallon of gas. Oh, look at this. This is huge. Fanatics signed a deal with the. By the way, if you hear me sniffling, it's literally because there's massive amounts of pollen in Houston right now. Like to the point where like I have to rinse my car off and I have to take 2 showers a day to prevent the pollen from like sticking to my body. I have to rinse out my nose because it gathers pollen in there and it makes my nose sniffly and stuff like that. It was bad. I actually missed a friend's wedding this past weekend because of feeling like shit waking up one day. So anyway, this is a big story. Front Office Sports, which by the way, great Twitter follow for the business of sports, like it says in its Twitter, like it says in its bio. The WWE has agreed to partner with Fanatics in a wide-ranging deal that encompasses merch, collectibles, and NFTs. The sports entertainment giant has been making moves. First $1 billion revenue year in 2021, $1 billion streaming deal with Peacock, long-term deal with Fanatics. WWE, I'm going to tell you this right now, they've recovered nicely since that whole like WWE network debacle type deal where they made their own 24-hour wrestling network and nobody really purchased it at the rate that they thought they were going to get. But yeah, wow, I did not know the WWE had a $1 billion revenue year. That is amazing. They've been slowly working their way closer and closer to cable deals and all that kind of stuff like that. Sorry, I need to add Kyle Kuzma to my NBA. He's already in there. NBA list. Sorry. Actually, we're going to take a second. We're going to take a little second here so that I can send out some tweets. Like Fire by Kimberly Nicole. Ooh, shit. What happened? My monitor on my phone just shut down. Twitch is acting weird today. I use my phone to monitor my stream, not my Twitch dashboard, because it's a tab. It's a tab on my fucking thing, right? So it's hard to keep it together. Anyway, let's see. Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. We're in a good place. I'm assuming that's from the owners' meeting. Kyle Shanahan, we're not getting rid of Jimmy just to get rid of him. That's true, especially since you don't really... Once again, all signs pointing to Trey Lance not looking as good as a lot of people suspect him to be. Congratulations. He, the chances of you drafting the next Josh Allen or even the next Carson Wentz. Like, imagine if Carson Wentz played for the San Francisco 49ers. You know what I mean? Questions abound. How that will work out. Anyway, y'all should. And the problem is like the 49ers have a team that's like plug and play ready to go to the Super Bowl. And a lot of people just really don't want to talk about that. They have somehow the running back situation for them has worked out on multiple fronts, multiple times over. They've lost losing Raheem Mostert and then finding more running backs that can be effective in their scheme, getting Trent Williams because the Washington football team almost killed him by accident that one time at getting him at a pretty reasonable price in terms of his ability. That's huge for them. What else? Yeah, plus the fact that they continue to draft like ridiculously good defensive prospects. Like Arden Key's a free agent or whatever, but you talk about like DeForest Buckner, who before he moved on to the Colts, then going to one of the Bosa brothers, and then getting a bunch of dudes up front to really, really do a good job. Fred Warner, Al Shaikh is how you say his last name, the number 51 at linebacker. Like they continue to just get really good defensive players, and then of course it also helps that they have a coach who puts people in a position to make plays. They're ready. Like they're ready to go out here and get these dubs. Last week, quarterback Kyler Murray seemed to take a step towards reconciliation with the Cardinals when he told reporters that his social media scrub had nothing to do with the organization. Whether the claim is true or not, the temperature appears to have cooled on the situation with Murray in Arizona. At the NFL annual meeting on Tuesday, head coach Cliff Kingsbury was all positive when describing where he and the organization are with 2019 number 1 overall pick. We're in a good place, Kingsbury said. That's the business side of it. I stay out of things for the most part, but as far as our relationship, it's always been great, which makes sense. Like just because once again, Cliff Kingsbury has nothing to do with like how much Kyler Murray gets paid, and we get to see him as a long-term future. I know he feels the same way. Murray is eligible for a contract extension after completing his 3rd season. His agent released a lengthy statement in late February that spoke to Murray's desire to be the Cardinals' long-term quarterback, but noted Arizona's actions would speak louder than its words. Through 3 seasons, Murray has compiled 22, 23-1 record. He's completed 67% of his passes for 11,480 yards with 70 touchdowns and just 34 interceptions. He's also rushed for 1,786 yards with 20 touchdowns. That's pretty wild. It's pretty wild that he's rushed for so few yards, but I think it's because he missed a good chunk of time. If you remember, he's had the same situation happen 3 years in a row, right? He starts off hot. Well, really, that first year they started off terrible because they had one of, if not the worst defense in the NFL. And then, they picked it up because they got Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph got fired from the Chargers and became the DC for the Cardinals. Then they all of a sudden started playing football a lot better on the defensive side of the ball. Who would have thought? Vance Joseph knows what he's talking about. Like so many other black head coaches that are now DCs in the NFL, or were DCs, became head coaches, and now back to being DCs. Anyway, Vance Joseph got the defense together, and they start off hot 2 seasons in a row and then fizzle out towards the end. I will point this out. They stayed hot longer into this season and then fizzled really late, and it got so bad to the point where they had a playoff game versus a divisional rival, and we all knew what the outcome was going to be. That was really weird. I feel like we can all say confidently we thought that the Rams are going to get rid of these here Rams. You know what I mean? Sorry, I have to. Out of just morbid curiosity, I have to check the YouTube stream and see if it corrected itself. I doubt it did, but I want to know. It did not. It did not. It has not corrected itself. It's still just me talking with a green screen, so it's not receiving video for some reason. It's so weird. Did it restart? Maybe it started another stream and I just don't know about it. Anyway, back to just... You guys are seeing way too much shit right now. Back to the content, baby. We live right now. How many copyright claims do I have? A copyright claim on my last 3 episodes for like 20 seconds of music being played. Shout out. Oh, by the way, all that music that I have copyright claims on are music that has been made by somebody that I know personally. And they use the same beat software as another person. And so they're like, oh, yeah, nah. That is you took that. You took that from that person, this other person who uses like half a second of audio that's the same as your friends. Or like 3 seconds of audio is the same as your friends. Anyway, yeah. Shout out to the one person watching. I don't know who that is, but I guess you got nothing better to do with your day. Let's see. We're not getting rid. Oh, this is the interesting one. This is big money business right here. This might be we talking money or we talking money this week. The rich keep getting richer, and they keep getting other people to pay for places where they generate more riches. That's the key to being rich, kids. When it comes to paying the bill, get somebody else to do it. But when it comes time to collect that check, it only goes to you. According to the Associated Press, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has proposed a $500 million in public bonds finance construction of a new stadium for the Titans. The Tennessean reports that the Titans initially wanted a simple renovation, but that the politicians became intrigued by the possibility of a covered stadium so that the other events could be conducted in the venue, which is smart because that means that you can hold concerts and get that revenue money year round instead of just during the football season or instead of only when the sun is out, right? Including perhaps the Super Bowl. The Titans don't want a roof on the existing facility. The news comes a day after politicians in Buffalo agreed to pay $850 million for a new Buffalo Bills stadium. Lawmakers are willing to do it, even if those who vote for them would generally not go along with it. In a simple Twitter poll that was posted last night with more than 33,000 responding, more than 84% said the taxpayers' money should not be used to finance football stadiums. And God damn it, guess what's going to happen? In a couple of years, the Tennessee Titans are going to have themselves a new stadium. Yep, that's just typically how that goes. I don't know what to tell you. Rich people have mastered the art of getting other people to pay their bills. And it's in part thanks to us. I don't know. All the sheeple, you know. There's a collection of people in this country and really in this world that seem to think because you have the ability to make money, you deserve things that are nicer than others, which is not true. Anyway, we're coming up towards the end of the study hall because I'm counting the other shit. So we're almost up to 32. So it was 32 minutes the first segment. This is about to be over an hour of stuff. I feel like we've done a lot. Let's look at some NBA stuff or MLB stuff here. Wow, what the hell? Champion Atlanta Braves opener will be on ESPN2, which is weird. The World Series champion Atlanta Braves season opener against the Cincinnati Reds will be televised nationally by ESPN2 on April 7th. ESPN2 used to mean so much less than it actually does now. ESPN2 be popping though. Coming off their first title since 1995, the Braves will raise their championship banner before the game, which will be pushed back slightly from its planned 7:20 p.m. Eastern start. ESPN said Tuesday that it added the game, which is not. Oh my God! Like, guys, imagine if ESPN had the opportunity to originally schedule the Super Bowl champion to play their first game of the season, and then they were like, oh wait, we can add it in like a month later or right before the start. This is so weird that they had to add the opening game for the World Series champion, like for the champion of one of the top grossing leagues on the planet, not just in particular in baseball, one of the top grossing leagues on the planet had to get their season opener for the champion of the league added to ESPN2. So weird, bro. Like, I guess people don't care. Whatever. I guess some people care. Some people realize the error that they made. Or saw the opportunity to take it. Chicago White Sox acquired... Nope, we're not doing that. Oh, wait. Oh, baby. Oh, boy. City Connect uniforms, which are City Edition uniforms. Oh, and it's a June Lee... Oh, man, we gotta check this article out. There's a June Lee article that ranks the City Connection uniforms here. I'm trying to make sure it's framed properly for everybody watching on Twitch so that you can see it. I guess I'm on like an 8-second delay now, which is... tough. That's tough, guys. Trying to make it happen. Check OBS real quick. It is not properly framed. I will fix that for you, kind folks who've taken time out of their day to watch me scroll on the internet. Let's see. It's a June Lee article, which, by the way, June Lee do the thing. Anyway, not that. June Lee also one of the best in the game, so check out his stuff. Nike has worked with... Sorry, let's read it from the top. Major League Baseball and Nike introduced the City Connect series from the 2021 season to shake up uniform design. If you remember last year, the one that made the big splash was the Boston Marathon uniform for the Boston Red Sox, right? We all remember that a little bit. It was like really bright yellow. Kind of have it was the colors of the Boston Marathon on a Boston Red Sox uniform. Nike has worked with with each MLB team to craft a uniform that expresses the personality and communities of the team's home city. Last year saw the launch of 7 City Connect uniforms from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Boston Red Sox, Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, LA Dodgers, Miami Marlins, and San Francisco Giants. The unveiling continues this season. Oh, the Astros are getting theirs on April 20th. The veiling. Oh, and then we saw the Nationals one. It is the Cherry Blossom one. So the Nationals one is already out. It's the Cherry Blossom one that's in collaboration with the Wizards, because Nike is the apparel. The uniform designer and the apparel provider for both the MLB and the NBA, so they can work together. They're just a couple of emails away. Unveiling continued this season. The Houston, and this is kind of cool. You get some like citywide continuity if you have the same brand designing your stuff for you, and that means that fans can like buy things that are in season, and they both kind of have the same kind of scheme that goes along with it. With the Washington Nationals, the Houston Astros on April 20th, the Kansas City Royals on April 30th, the Rockies on June 4th, the LA Angels on June 11th, the Milwaukee Brewers on June 24th, the San Diego Padres on July 8th. After taking over as the uniform supplier for the NFL and NBA, Nike has pushed for radical uniform design changes in those leagues, a move that is now making its way into the baseball world. While some MLB traditionalists have scoffed, many of the designs have sold out quickly because they look fucking sick for the most part. And on top of that, some of these some of you guys who are like classics are the only thing that actually matter. Guess what? At some point, before it became a classic, it was just a uniform, and then people made it important by doing cool things in the uniform. So you can make anything a classic. It's stupid. Nike pushed for a radical uniform design, with some of the designs more polarizing than others. This one was really dope. I remember the Chicago white ones with the pinstripes and said South Side. South Side, the South Side. Not that South Side, but the South Side of Chicago where everybody say all the stuff go down, and that's where the real ones come from in Chicago, according to people from Chicago. This is how they're currently ranked. The South Side uniform is number 1, according to June Lee. The Chicago uniform displays South Side in gray Gothic front, a nod to the Greystone architectural design of Chicago. The team's dark gray pinstriped pants also provide a unique touch not often seen in baseball today. The look resembles the turn back the clock uniforms the team wore in tribute to the Chicago American Giants. Nike and the White Sox also say the design was inspired by the team's influence in hip-hop culture, which is true. Like, White Sox hats still be popping in places that are not Chicago. Of the various fan connection uniforms, the White Sox received the strongest positive reaction from the fan, with the jerseys selling out quickly on the day they were made available in the White Sox team store, which is true. Miami Marlins, the Miami ones was weird. They had weird colors that went with it. They got more photos. Hold on. The Marlins went with a bright red pinstripe uniform and a predominantly blue hat with a red bill. The jersey pays tribute to the Sugar Kings. Interesting. Yeah, this is the uniform from that they rocked last year. I remember this. There's another alt that goes with it too, but whatever. The AAA affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds that played in Cuba from 1946 through 1960. Of course, Miami having deep connections to Cuba as a whole. The uniform is not an exact copy of the Sugar Kings uniform, which was white and featured red pinstripes. Especially, see, like, once again, this is why you got to read into the history, or why you got to read the description of a lot of these uniforms. So many times people just look at them like, oh, that's ugly. And I'm like, well, nah, like, this is art. The art is inspired, right? I guess the Nationals are getting another one? Oh, no, this is just the one that just debuted. April 9th, 2022, the Nationals uniform weaved together two recognizable elements from our nation's capital. The signature cherry blossom and typeface resembles DC's neoclassical architecture. The uniform also features the city's flag on the sleeve and the dark gray jersey with cream pants. Cream pants. You got to... See, that's why you got to show the whole fit. By the way, when it comes to these City Edition uniforms, more often than not, you're gonna get judged. Look, a lot of these City Edition uniforms go to die with how cool the shorts look. I think you can say that, but like, you can't buy the pants. You can't buy the baseball pants of MLB teams, right? So it doesn't matter, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. You're only buying the jersey. But like, really though, if you're talking about these uniforms, like these new design uniforms, the shorts are where the uniform lives or dies, because the shorts are the thing that's going to be worn way more than the jersey is. A lot of people don't just walk around in a jersey on a regular day-to-day basis, right? It's a special event. They either go in to watch the team play. Some people play in certain types of jerseys that they, don't care about or whatever, or jerseys that are not the fancy type or whatever. And at the end of it all, facts are facts, man. The shorts are where things go to die, because the shorts, you can work out in the shorts, you can play in the shorts, you can wear the shorts around the house. That's where you got to have something. The shorts are going to be important. That's why the Washington Wizards new cherry blossom shorts look dope, and people are probably going to buy those more than they're going to buy the actual jersey itself. So yeah, we're not going to read the fan reaction. This is the Boston Marathon inspired uniforms right here. Those are pretty cool. That's fourth. Don't need to read that description. I read that a long time ago, and I just told you what it is. The Diamondbacks unveiled a gold uniform referencing the Sonoran Desert and the state's Hispanic culture, with the serpendientes across the front. Not straying too far from the team's existing colors, Arizona decided to flip its primary and secondary colors, making the team's distinctive Sedona red color an accent through the numbers. The uniform patch on the left sleeve features the Arizona state flag and a reference to the Phoenix nickname as the Valley of the Sun. You know how it goes. I have not seen the Giants rock this one. This must be from like the fucking 40s or some shit. The most unique design element for the Giants uniforms are a nod to the Golden Gate Bridge silhouetted on the sleeve and the San Francisco fog, which dots the team's logo on the jersey's chest. The player's uniform number and the bridge, a small patch above the jersey tag, features the Giants lettering surrounded by fog, which that's kind of cool. All right. See, that makes it that much cooler. Always love that. Chicago Cubs, it says Wrigleyville, obviously. A nod. The Cubs uniform feature a largely navy blue design with light blue accents, meant to evoke the Chicago flag with the Wrigleyville across the front. And I tell you this much right now, people from Chicago will buy this fucking jersey just because it says Wrigleyville across the front, right? That's how much they love that. Wrigleyville across the front in a font similar to the ballpark's marquee, which if you've ever been to Wrigley Field, they have like a marquee like you're going to see a Broadway show out front, right? Like the letters get put in and placed and all that kind of. They have a digital one now, my bad. On each of the city's 77 neighborhoods, acknowledged with the name of the sleeve on the name of the sleeves. I'm sorry, let me start that over. With Wrigleyville across the front in a font similar to the ballpark's marquee, and each of the city's 77 neighborhoods acknowledged with names on the sleeve of the dugout and the bullpen jackets. The jersey's left sleeve features a patch of the Chicago Municipal Device logo and a circle with a Y symbolizing the north, south, and main branches of the Chicago River. So yeah, that was pretty cool. See, that's like real deep cuts, right? The Dodgers have like this color rush thing going on. The Los Dodgers are honoring of the 40th anniversary of the Mania, the historic 1981 season by pitcher Fernando Valenzuela. In addition to the team's connection to the Latin community, the team also took inspiration from the murals around Los Angeles with spray painted accents for the uniform sleeve. I like that. I like that a lot. Anyway, that's our MLB fashion one. Anything else happen? Chris Archer signs with the Twins. That's cool. Oh, by the way, Albert Pujols signed with the Cardinals again. Hopefully they don't play the Astros too many times this season. Man. Whoa, hold up. I think, okay, here we go. This is interesting. The Philadelphia Phillies manager, Joe Girardi, who used to be the manager for the Yankees, says he thinks pitching around the majors in April will be a battle of attrition following the shortened spring training. You know, one of my favorite things is one of my favorite things absolutely is centered around players pitching. Like, there's so many. When I was working at Disney, that was like my favorite time during baseball games. Unless something cool was happening in the game and they were like, oh, it's the seventh inning and this game is out of reach. We need to save everybody's arm for as many pitches as we possibly can. We'll be sending out our third baseman. You know, the Phillies opened the regular season at home on April 8th against the Oakland A's. And for the first of 13 days of, oh my God, they played 13 straight days. I thought it was like 13 games in like 3 weeks or some shit like that. I think that's a pretty good way of putting it, you know. Girardi said Monday before the Phillies played Baltimore in spring training, it's a concern. I would be like, oh, we forfeit all of our spring training games. We're good. We'll get a good warm-up in those 13 straight days of playing. I'm sure for every organization in the game, and our situation is tough, where it's 13 in a row, just got to find a way through it and keep everybody healthy. Teams are expected to have rosters expanding from 26 to 28 in April, which would allow Girardi to have 15 active pitchers, which would be enough for, like, you know, you're not going to go through all 15 of them, right? Like, you have the rotation. Maybe the rotation's a little bit larger than fucking 7. Solid defense is always a key. Will be magnified with starters still building up and extensive use of bullpens. You're going to learn a lot real fast with this season. So, yeah. Anyway, that's wild. Are they the only team that... They can't be the only team that does that, right? Anyway. Anything cool happened? This is about a game. Oh, Pascal Siakam scored 40 against the Timberwolves last night. That's cool. That's 2 playoff teams, by the way. I think we're almost done here. It's almost time, guys. It's almost time, especially since, you know, we can't do all the research for the show on here. Time to check out the Twitter list. That's how we're going to end this show. Check out the Twitter list. We'll start with which one comes up first. Let's talk about NBA media and players. If the media one gets boring fast, we'll move on. That's a good question. Ryan Miller wrote an article about if the playoff game leaves them in danger of ending up in the play-in tournament. Anyway, that's that. Ooh, hold on. God damn. Everton has announced losses of more than £100 million, $130 million for the third straight year. Yeah, isn't Everton up for sale, or is it something else? Anyway, Premier League club Everton announced losses of more than £100 million, $130 million for the third straight year on Tuesday. Figures released by the club showed a deficit of £120 million, 158 for the year ending June 2021, after another season affected by the coronavirus pandemic. And if you haven't heard, we all found out that the EPL got a lot of teams out here that's not carrying their weight in terms of pulling in this money. And Everton's probably, Everton's one of the 20 EPL teams that are in the city of London. So, I'm kidding. They're in Liverpool, but, if you don't know, if you've ever not, I wish there was a map. Okay. Hold on. I think we can look it up. EPL teams by location on map to show you how stupid the distribution of EPL teams is. That is the Premier. That's not the. Yeah, it is. It's the Wolves. Here we go. Shout out. Sports League Maps. That's funny. There's a whole website dedicated. Oh my God. There's a whole website dedicated to this. This is dope. Anyway, so you see this little concentration right here. You see this? You see the problem right here? You see this big problem? This is cluster of teams. So, that's Newcastle. I know that off the top of my head. That's Leicester City. Right here is Watford. And then this is... Where is Martin's team? This is, of course, you know. Arsenal, the Gunners are right there. So, look at this. So, Everton's here. They're all in the same place, by the way. I don't think there's a way to zoom in. If prompted to open Google Maps, cancel. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, this is the way these are all in the same city. They're right on top of each other. Which, if you know how, we live in a country where we don't even want multiple NFL teams in the same state, let alone this type of shit where they're right on top of each other. One of these is Sheffield, right? One of these is Sheffield. This is Man City. This is Man City. That's Man U. There's Liverpool right here. And these are three of the top earning sports teams in the world right here. And Everton is just on the outside, on the outskirts of this whole situation. That's how you end up broke. Being around three of the top money getters in the world, right? Going back to the article. I might need to go back to that site. That was actually kind of a cool concept, just looking at the map of where teams are located. Especially considering a lot of our time growing up and developing, we've been misconstrued about how the world looks on a map, especially due to the distortion of sizes of states or sizes of countries. That's a big deal. Got to deprogram that stuff. Anyway, where we're at. Figures released by the club showed a deficit of $120 million, which is $158 for the year ending in June 2021 after another season affected by the coronavirus pandemic. That followed losses of $111 million, which is $146 million in American dollars, and $139 million, which is $183 million in American money for the previous two seasons. Premier League rules state a club is in breach of profit and sustainability regulations if it makes an adjusted loss of more than £105 million over a 3-year period. Guess who's in violation of that rule? Everton's overall losses amount to 3.5 times that figure at £371 million, $486 million. But the club said £170 million, $222 million of it can be attributed to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, and $135 million American, of which came from the most recent financial year. The club has experienced a unique set of financial circumstances in recent years, including committing significant amounts of expenditures to a complex new stadium project dealing with and continuing the widespread impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The club said it remains in a secure financial position thanks to the continued unwavering support and commitment of Farhad Moshihiri, Everton's major shareholder, and was working with the Premier League to comply with its financial rules. In the last 7 years, Everton made a profit just once in 2016 and 2017 and is fighting to avoid relegation this season, with the team currently 1 place and 3 points above the bottom 3. If you don't know, that's how relegation works in EPL, in English Premier League. If you're the bottom 3 teams, Down to the minors you go, to the they play in the Premier League. It's called the Champions League, which sounds deceptive in the sense that it is the high league, which it is. It's the second highest league, but guess what? Guess what's not high in the Champions League? That's right, salaries. In early March, Everton halted its major sponsorship with companies belonging to Alshaya Usmanov, the Russian metals tycoon who has been sanctioned by the European Union. Jesus Christ. This could collapse an entire team. The move came in the wake of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Usmanov is a longtime business partner of Moshihiri and paid Everton $39 million in American in January 2020 to secure an exclusive option of naming rights for a proposed new stadium at Bramley Moor Dock, which is scheduled to be complete. Is it really by a dock? Like, hold on. Sorry. This is why we do study hall, right? To learn random things. Is it really by a dock? Holy shit. It is. Like, holy crap. Wow. Learned something. That's actually a really cool view, by the way. Look at that. That looks amazing. That's like the mock-up version, right? What does it look like right now? New Everton Stadium is supposed to be right there. Wow. They really were just like, we're gonna build it right on the ocean. We're going to build that bitch right on the ocean so we can cause as much traffic as possible when people trying to get out. That's your fault for trying to leave. That's the problem. Moshihiro injected another $135 million into the club in January, saying it demonstrated his commitment at a turbulent time for Everton. The cash injection turned a loan into equity and saw Moshihiro take his shareholding of Everton to 94%. Oh man, he about to take mad losses though. Unless Everton turn it around real quick, people gonna start looking at each other real funny. I'll tell you that much right now, young man. Especially when you a new owner, it would be one thing if you like had owned the team for like 20 years and you got to you got to get money for 20 years worth of domination and shit like that. That's just not the case. Let's see. Josh Dobbs just tweeted something. Tickets to the Josh Dobbs Extraordinary Charitable Concert, which I'm assuming is STEM related. Yeah, looks like it is. I'm just gonna retweet that. I don't know who Chase Rice. I know who Chase Rice is, but I don't know how he gets down. But I like Josh Dobbs and what he's trying to do. Wow, Mavs sitting around a 12-point favorite against the Lakers tonight. Vegas gets it. Yeah, we're not recapping Dennis Rodman's career on today's episode. Who is this? Santi Aldama. I don't even remember who that Santi Aldama. This is a Priority Sports is a it's a sports agency. They were just tweeting out like highlights of their people they represent. Oh, this is cool. 1 year ago today, Russell Westbrook of the Washington Wizards goes for 35 points, 14 rebounds, and 21 assists in a 132-124 win over the Indiana Pacers. Russell Westbrook is the only player to ever have gotten 35 points, 10 rebounds, and 20 assists in NBA history. Crazy. Nothing funny. Oh, what is the? That's just that's a photo with a graphic on it. Anyway, NBA media, go NBA teams, see what kind of funny deals we can find today, folks. Let me fix my screen size. And fix this for you. Man, one day I'm going to figure it out. One day I'm going to get the sizing right. Today's not that day. Let's do a little scrolling, shall we? 30. Oh wow, that was weird. Just saw a head bobbing up and down. Title IX documentary produced by Candace Parker that premieres Saturday. Make sure you watch that, kids. That's important. Title IX is very important. It changed the very essence of women's sports as we know it today. Even if people utilize it incorrectly on purpose, even today, it does support female athletes, which is important. Two of the leagues battle. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. it's Women's History Month, so there's probably gonna be a lot of cool shit that happens. Oh wow, they're doing a 50-50 raffle tonight for the Bloom. Oh, by the way, yeah. So tonight is the So tonight is the Bloom game. It's like Bloom game night or whatever. So they're gonna be debuting the Bloom, the cherry blossom uniforms tonight. As part of this is what is it? Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Night, right? Asian American Pacific Islander American Heritage Night celebration. We recognize several pioneers who have made an impact in our society in their own way. These pioneers celebrate outside Barclays Center tonight's game. Tammy Duckworth, isn't she the lady who? She's the grit lady, right? Right? She's the lady who defines what grit is. That's the only person. I'm sorry. That's the only person on this list that I know. Anyway. Look at Rakuten. The Warriors are like the only team that uses Rakuten. It's so weird. Today is Walt Frazier's birthday. Turning 77. Damn, that's lit. Walt Frazier was like one of the flyest dudes in the league for a long time. I saw that photo of him like on a subway one time, rocking the trench coat with the hat on there. It basically looked like this, except it was all black. Thought that was dope. I'm at the NBA store in New York because I've never been. Even the league disrespects Detroit. Only team without current player jerseys out. They have Josh Giddey's though. Oh man, that's rough. That's tough. Anyway, Pride. Oh wow, that's dope. Pride night for the Rockets. They got tickets for $19. Hey guys, by the way, those tickets for $19. Yeah, they like you get those for real. $19 is cheaper than most of the food that's inside Toyota Center this season. There's only like 8 games left this season, so they want people there, and they probably gonna beat the Kings. They have a chance to beat the Kings. And you get to watch Sabonis play again. Sabonis got 20 rebounds on them boys last week. It's because they play small ball. I learned that last night. They play a lot of small ball because the whole Christian Wood situation is a little weird right now. Boogie got hold on. We gotta look at this. This is Derek Cousins. Derek Cousins? Boogie Cousins. I forget what his actual name is. We just call him Boogie. Anyway, this is Boogie asking questions at the press conference. He said, "What we eating?"
Yeah, it's all you.
Oh my God. Boys clowns, bro. These boys clowns. Anyway, that's a good question. That's an important question. Like, what we eating? Most. By the way, if you've ever played sports, most of your time playing sports will be spent asking the question, "Where are we eating tonight?" It's just it's important. It's an important thing to know before people get signed up for playing sports. Most of the time, they will be spending asking, "Where are we eating?" So we now know that the NBA does short sleeve hoodies, and I need to know where to get that immediately. So if anybody knows, send me the link. BioSteel Sports. Okay, BioSteel, a sports hydration, sports nutrition company. Okay, cool. They giving out workouts. I don't know why they have masks on, but okay. Maybe somebody's not vaccinated. Maybe they trying to be safe. They trying to be extra careful. Respect that. That's tough. It's tough to work out with a mask on, man. I tried it like twice. I tried it twice to see how it feels so I can like talk about it on the show. And I think I did talk about it. And then I went to you know what I did? I went to the gym one time, like after lockdown was over, when vaccines were like a thing. I went to the gym once and I was like, I'm not going back. Haven't been back since. Been working out at home. Been running in the backyard. My backyard is 55 yards long, by the way, so it works. It pans out. This is dope. The Rockets and Houston Federal Credit Union visited A-Leaf Early College High School. This is if you're from Houston, this is the A-Leaf school that nobody talks about. All the other 3 have sports, so they talk about them in the news all the time. But this is the one that doesn't have sports. For a financial wellness lesson with Rockets legend Mo Taylor. Shout out Mo Taylor for trying to teach the kids. Is this a cool dunk? It's a cool dunk. It is not a cool dunk. It's a layup. He got 40 points, though. Shout out. Photos. See, that's the cool thing about being an NBA player. They always gonna get the good light for you. Always gonna get that good light for you, no matter what. Because they gotta get those graphics. Do you get a copy of like every graphic that features you? Like, I would love like every poster that features me on a team that I'm on. Last practice before a 4-game road trip. It's Cherry Blossom night. This is a big night for the Wizards. The Wiz. Jared Allen bobblehead night. What is his hair made out of in this? Because it looks like it's got texture to it, right? Like, it looks like you can touch it and like it'll move around. Hopefully they didn't do anything racist. I don't know, man. That fro existing looks racist. It feels racist to me. I don't know how, but it feels racist. I'm just kidding. But bobblehead night for Jared Allen and the fro. That one actually looks like Jared Allen, but it looks like Jared Allen bobblehead version. Also kind of sucks that now like every bobblehead night has to be sponsored by somebody. You can't just get like a bobblehead. Anyway, questions. If you know, you know. Some people will get it, some people won't. Which is the important part. Sometimes you can make a joke that other people will get and be able to laugh at and others won't. Guarantee your playoff seats. Oh, yep, I'm good. With the match from Josh and Major Harris, this year's Sixers Youth Foundation auction raised a total of over $500,000. Over the last 2 years, the auction has raised more than $1.2 million for the programs benefiting the youth of Philadelphia, Camden, and the greater Delaware Valley. Never heard of neither of those neighborhoods for Philly. I don't know the makeup of Philly all that well, obviously. Any cool promos coming up? Big Shot Game Experience. Oh, hold up. Today's the last day to enter. Win 10 Jockey Club tickets, super cool swag, and game day VIP opportunities. You just got this competition. That's a contest right there. This is George Blaha, who has one of the funniest names in all of sports. Happy birthday, George Blaha. I listened to a bunch of his stuff when I was working at Disney. 50th all time. Buddy Hield past Brent Barry to move into 50th all time in NBA all time 3-pointers made. That's crazy. Just think about where we've come in regards to the 3-pointer. The True Shield Small Business Spotlight helping dumplings treats reach new heights. Now it's your turn. Enter now for a chance to spotlight your small business on the biggest stage. My podcast is a small business, right? Guess who's stopping by NBA today, this afternoon? Spicy P coming on. Oh, wow. Sorry. RIP to Ann Parsons. Apparently, the former Detroit Symphony president and CEO, Ann Parsons, passed away. Sorry about that. Oh, wow. Look at this. This guy got the old school Pistons logo. That's cool. All right. Moving on. Let's do the NFL one and we'll wrap it up. NFL teams. See what they posted. Free make permanent the free kick formation change implemented. Yeah. We already read this. Oh, what a. By the way, the way you pronounce his name is George Karlaftis, in case you were wondering. This is the dude from Purdue who's really risen up a lot of people's lists lately. But he gives you the hot take of, I got some big goals and I'm going to achieve them, that's for sure. Yep. Let's see. Look at that. Kelly Klein? Executive Director of Football Operations and Special Advisor to the General Manager for the Broncos. Did not know that. We learn new things every single fucking day. We discussed the OT change. I really don't want to discuss it because it's not going to become important until we're just like, oh, it's not fair. Again, they did a highlight reel of all the guys who were joining the team. That's cool. Smart. That's Russell Douglas. Everybody tweeting about the overtime rules changing. That's Cooper Kupp, and who is this? Allen Robinson. There he is. Al Robinson got that 80s shirt, but it's mesh with it on there. Prince would be happy. Today's Justin Tucker's birthday. Let's see. Big Mountain 77. Who is this? Billy Turner. That's cool. I don't know what that is a reference to. That's Hakeem Grant. I know that. Playing for the Browns now. Happy birthday, Justin Tucker. Let's see. Get ready to play Learn and Blitz. Celebrate the sport of football with the USA Football and the Giants on April 2nd at MetLife Stadium. You won't want to miss out on this free festival. Oh, wow. They got a kids festival going on at MetLife Stadium for those of you out there in the world. No. I don't see any funny stuff. The Patriots are signing Jabril Peppers. Look at Jabril, who like once upon a time was a tweener for a lot of people. You guys love where his knee pads are at? You guys love that? Knee pads. Knee. Somewhere near the mid-quad. We love it. 5 things we learned about Bears coach Matt Eberflus. Bucky Brooks. Not seeing anything too in. Oh, by the way, look at these god awful draft caps they have coming up for. This is like a 80s throwback kind of design. Also, how many times do we have to teach people this lesson of not putting fitted caps as the draft cap? The draft cap should be a snapback because you don't know the hairstyle that's going underneath the cap, you idiots. Mock draft. Okay. That's cool. I don't know who Brent Rossi is, but shout out to him for getting that money. Oh, look. This is NFL Research, which is a great tool. You should follow NFL Research on Twitter. The data behind the decision in regards to the data behind the decision about like both teams get the ball in postseason, both offenses get the ball in the postseason for playoffs, right? There have been 12 OT playoff games under the new rules implemented in 2010, where the first team to possess the ball can win a TD, can win with a touchdown. The team to win the coin toss won 10 out of the 12 games, with 7 of those 10 winning on a sudden death opening drive touchdown. So that's just like it was just too lopsided, which is true. It's true. That's Kyle Hamilton talking about how much he loves OBJ. I think that's it. I think we're done here. Ladies and gents. Shout out to everybody who checked in and tuned into the show. I'm going to call it a day. Hold on. Talk to you guys on Friday. Show up here. We're going to try and get it started earlier. Usually we try and start around 5 o'clock. It doesn't work out that way all the time. So other than that, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay smart. Stay frisky out there. Keep your head up. Keep your brain moving. Keep learning stuff. Even if it's not on this here fine program for Study Hall. I'll be back next Tuesday, same time. Around the same time, basically. But yeah, we do Study Hall every single Tuesday where we just kind of like chill out and and read random articles. It doesn't even have to necessarily. We read random articles and watch videos and stuff like that. I find that to be pretty fun. Also, it's a great way for me to absorb information in a short period of time. I am gonna exit the show like I should every single episode by playing one of my favorite songs now. So yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with it, guys, until I get over this. And right now, it's not gonna let me do anything because it's gonna play the ad. Let's see. Oh, look at that! I don't even know who Tariq Glenn is, but he's going into the Ring of Honor for the Colts. Shout out to him. Here we go. Started from the top.
I got this fire in my bones.